What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I decided I wanted to do a review of my CrankBrothers clip pedals. Now I've had these pedals for 1 year, so yes, this is a 1 year review. These bad boys right here, please ignore the colorway. These are actually used to be half chrome, half black. That's what these were. These are the E-Mallet Enduro clip pedals with a long spindle, so that is longer than your normal spindle. So the Mallet-E Enduros are exactly what they are. They are for everything enduro related riding. I guess you could ride these with anything really. So let's get into the review. Essentially, getting on these, let's start with that. Day one of using these, quite difficult, I must say. Now I will do a disclaimer that I've ridden pretty much all clip pedals almost. I've ridden Times for a very long time in BMX, and also rode Shimano's for quite a long time in BMX and mountain biking. I'm pretty alright with clipping in and out of pedals. So with these mallets, the E-Mallets, is quite difficult when you first get them. At least I found it quite difficult, and I was talking to some others as well. They also find it difficult. I think it's just the amount of clip-in area that you have makes it hard. I'm not sure. I found myself struggling to clip in, and it made me very less confident on steep trails and stuff where I had to put my foot down and put it back in, stuff like that. So day one was not fun with these. In fact, the first week was not fun with these. I actually took these down to Medina about 2 weeks after using them, and it was okay. They were kind of worn in by that stage. But yeah, day one, not great with these pedals. Righto, as you can see on these pedals, there is a few little clips, little pins. And after a year of use, the wear on these pins is not much. Pretty much almost nothing. There is almost no wear on these pins. So that's pretty good plus, I guess you could say. Being as though my shoes, I don't think really ever hit those pins much at all. So yeah, pretty good wear on these cleats. I mean, these ones here, they still look brand new if we're looking at wear. They still do look new, other than the fact that I painted them, but everything about these still looks very clean and new. And before I painted them, they still look fine. There was a couple blemishes in the actual cleat thingy there, but other than that, they wore pretty well over the year of having them. Not bad. All right, so I would like to speak a little bit about performance with these guys. I did speak a little bit about it with being difficult to get in, but after you're in on for a while, I think the actual cleats, which we'll get into in a second, I'll show you the wear on the cleats, so it starts to wear down a bit, and it makes these much easier to clip in. When you're in, there isn't that much heel movement in these pedals. There is a little bit, which I do prefer. It really gives you, a good amount of room for corners and using your heel to, just move around and stuff like that. So with these, there is a bit more heel movement, not as much heel movement as the Times. And obviously there is almost no heel movement with Shimano's. They're pretty much just dead straight. So these ones are sort of in between with heel movement. The Times pedals have lots of heel movement. These ones not so much. These here, not too bad performance wise after you got going. Yeah, not too much else I can say. The clip in and out gets easier. You start to feel like that area of position, you know it after a while, and it's not bad. Here's the other one for a little bit more look. It looks the exact same. They look good. Still really good after a year of use. That's pretty good. So along with the E-Mallet pedals, we will do a little deep dive into the shoes. These are the Speedlace Match CrankBrothers shoes. The Speedlace being essentially sort of similar to a boa, like kind of in between. You've got like this little guy just there, and then you tighten the absolute crap out of this, tighten him up, pull that down, and then that pretty much just locks it in, kind of like a boa, but not as good. It is also a different material to the boas, but I did want the strap for ease of access and ease of taking off, you know what I'm saying? But the shoes, I guess they were good. They felt alright straight away, but moving forward, I might as well show you the wear now. In the shoes, you got real big wear like under here and up in there. So the reason I had to get rid of these shoes is because there is so much mud in there, and I think it's just the same with the other pair as well. Probably might be able to see it a bit more. As you can see, there is a big hole there, and yeah, so right in around here, really bad wear on these shoes. And there is a lot of mud in there that I can't get out. I've tried. But overall, I did like these shoes. They felt comfortable. They look slick. They're very easy to look at shoes. Like, they don't look too, you know, I just want shoes that look like shoes. Like clip pedals, clip shoes just can't seem to do it. I don't know why. But these look all right. They don't look too bad. Yeah, anyways. While we got the shoes out, we might as well look at the Cleat's wear. Now this is pretty much the worst thing about CrankBrothers. I don't know if it's the same like material in the cleats as other clip pedals, but I don't think I've ever worn cleats this fast. That is how worn they are. Like, you can't really tell, I guess, but they are super worn. So if I'll show you a brand new one, they do send you a spare pair. This is a brand new cleat. And yeah, you see how bulky these things are. And that's almost flat, I guess. Very hard to tell on camera, but the amount of wear in these cleats is pretty ridiculous. And yeah, that leads me to why I got rid of these and got rid of the shoes, because I put the new cleats in. I went to clip into my pedals and it was just that nightmare again. We went straight back to day one. Went back to day one trying to clip in with these things. It was such a mission, and we were going to the Medina and I was like, I'm not doing this again. So that is why I got rid of these. And also the mud was a real big pain in the ass. There'd be dirt in there. So the Match shoes, they probably lasted about, I think 8 or 9 months. I think we had these, and I reckon they did all right for 8 or 9 months. I'm pretty sure. Like, I've had shoes a lot less time than that have gone to shit a lot faster. The Fox Unions, I'd like to say they only lasted 2 or 3 months, but yeah. So the Match shoes, all right, they look good, they feel good. It's just a bit of wear over time underneath that cleat bit, which can fill up mud, and that really sucks. But the cleats, they absolutely suck. These things here, absolute dog shit, let's be real. The amount of wear in these things and how fast they wore out, crazy, man. I've still got Times cleats from like 2015 that are still going strong. And I was wearing them up until I moved onto these pedals. Like, I don't know, man, just those cleats, just not good quality at all. But that might be just what they need to use. They do work well with these. I will try and show you some of the movement in the shoe. Right, so there you go. There is quite a good little showcase of the little pins. Not necessarily doing much on your feet at all. A little bit of movement there, so I guess, I don't know what them pins are even for. Maybe they're just there for when you can't, when you're unclipped and you're just trying to find the pedal, I guess. But yeah, so it's really hard to tell how much movement is in these. Well, they're not on my feet, but there is a little bit of sway in the shoe when it's on the cleat. Not a lot though. These CrankBrothers were a little bit different than the Times, as I've said before. But yeah, there you go. There is a little bit of a review of these CrankBrothers cleats and shoes, I guess. I won't be buying any more CrankBrothers cleats or pedals. Didn't really like them. I didn't like them as much as the Times. I just think the Times do a way better style of that egg beater style shoe and clip. Sorry, I should say just cleat and clips. I think they just do a way better job of utilizing that egg beater style cleat, like this thing, the egg beater. That's what I call it. Let me know if there's a technical name for it. I'm not sure. I don't care anyway. But I think if you're going to go for some clip shoes to start off with, if you're brand new to wanting the right clips, maybe try some Shimano's first. They are like, just get some entry level ones, the cheapest ones you can, and use them on the grass for a while and see what they're like. See if you like being clipped in, and then maybe move on to some more of your advanced clips. I think the Times pedals, maybe the HTs, I've never tried them, the HTCs, I think they're called, HTs. There was some noise outside, I don't know what that was, but anyways. And the CrankBrothers, they're all more advanced style clips, just because you've got that nice bit of movement in your heel, and that is due to the egg beater style they're made with. Yeah, I'd suggest getting some Shimano's to start with, and then moving on to your more expensive clips, just so you're not buying real expensive clips straight away, and then realizing you don't want to, use them and ride them and stuff like that. But yeah, the CrankBrothers E-Mallets, I won't buy another set. A lot of people, like a lot of pros race them obviously, so they're good, but I'm not a pro. I'm just a random dude doing a random review, and I'm not sponsored by anyone. So there you go, there's an unbiased opinion anyway. I'm now back on the Times pedals, which I'm really happy with. They've always felt good, and you know, I just wanted to try something different with Crank Brothers, and they look cool on the bike. And also did a pretty random ass paint job with this gold splatter, which looks pretty cool. I don't know, if anyone wants to buy these, let me know. I'll sell them. Maybe we can do a giveaway or something. I don't know, let me know in the comments what you think. Anyways, that is a little review of the Crank Brothers pedals in the Match shoes. Let me know what you think. If you like them more, tell me your reasons, and I don't know, I'll have a look and read through. Maybe there's something I've missed. Very basic review though. Do I like them? Not so much. Would I recommend them? Not really. I'd recommend other ones. But anyways, if you liked the video, leave a like. If I helped you at all in you know, recommending you some clip pedals or something like that, let me know. And yeah, subscribe if you're new. Cheers, legends.